blocks Victor Oladipo's potential go-ahead shot, turns around a little bit later, nails it, wins it. Hitting the buzzer-beating three-pointer, here he is after the game.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. They had a foul to give. So I wanted to go quick so they couldn't give up that foul because we had no more timeouts. So I was able to turn and get to my spot. It's like deja vu from a regular season game we had versus Minnesota, where I got a block on the other end and then a game winner, but that team never stops. That team never stops, and it's going to be even tougher on Friday.
Chris Broussard, not sure if you were in the family of folk who thought that LeBron just wasn't a clutch player, but he was everything else. But if you were, did this sort of put that to bed a little bit?
I wasn't in that family of folk. Look, let me tell it like it is.
Okay.
There is one reason, and one reason only, that LeBron James is, some people have considered him not clutch. And this is a credit to this man's influence. It is our friend and colleague, Skip Bayliss. And I mean that sincerely, because every single weekday of LeBron James's career, Skip has been beating the drum that he's not clutch. And that's before there was any evidence of it. I remember being on TV with Skip when LeBron had the day after LeBron scored 48 against Detroit, 29 of Cleveland's last 30 points, and 25 straight in a win, and he was 22 years old in a playoff game 5, right? And they eventually went to the finals. And Skip, I didn't know how. I was excited because I was like, there's no way Skip's going to be able to find fault with this performance. And he pointed out, I guess LeBron missed a regulation jumper at the end of, something like that. So, look, when LeBron against Dallas, the worst moment of his career,
5 against Boston the year before, and then Dallas.
That made Skip look like a prophet. And a lot of people said, Skip, he knew something nobody else knew, and that's when the narrative really took place. But if you look, I know you have the stats.
The problem is the 6 years or 7 years since the Dallas series.
It's never left him, though. That narrative has never left LeBron.
And here's the thing. I understand the point you're making about the influence of the media at large and one of the most famous and prominent members of the media. But it is also because LeBron, his almost slavish dedication to the right play and how different it is than what we saw from the player a lot of people thought was supposed to be the next Jordan in Kobe Bryant. And the dichotomy between the two that has made people decide LeBron's not clutch. It's because LeBron will make the game-winning assist. It's because in the biggest moments, LeBron doesn't have to take the shot. That's the other reason that this has followed him. It's always been...
Well, hold on. Jordan did the same thing. John Paxson hit and if you look at that play where John Paxson hit that game winner to win the finals, Jordan was not even involved in the play.
Wasn't even involved.
He caught the ball in the backcourt against 6'2" Frank Johnson, passed it up to Scottie Pippen. Pippen took it to Horace Grant, to John. Jordan wasn't even involved. And then, of course, Steve Kerr.
Of course.
The double nickel. Bill Winnington hits the game, the
blast. But the media wasn't what the media is now.
But that's why I say.
And so we just have these snapshots of Jordan, and then we have this instant daily commentary on LeBron. But the most pressure LeBron's ever been under in his basketball career is Game 6 in Boston. If they lose that game, they break up the big three. And he goes 45, 15, and 5. By the way, some thresholds Russell just reached last night to become just the 3rd player in a playoff game to reach all 3 of those thresholds. It was Wilt in 62, LeBron in the biggest game of his career, and then those are the only 2 people until Russell last night. The guy won a Game 7 of the finals, CC, with a walk-off jump shot, essentially, against the Spurs. He had a jump shot to put him up 4 with less than 30 seconds remaining. To 37 and 12, and then hit 2 free throws to further ice the game. And there were still questions. Like, to me, it's always been craziness. Like, the guy has shown it time and time again. Last night's just another example of it.
For one, Michael Jordan has put the bar so high that no one's going to be able to quite live up to that. Kobe Bryant wasn't able to do that with 5 championships. People picked apart Kobe's game, picked apart Kobe's personality, picked apart Kobe. He's a coach killer. Teams don't want to play with him. Oh, he's selfish. This is what we do and have done to the greatest players. LeBron, we have done this since supposedly he gave himself the nickname the King. All right, so this didn't happen with someone on TV. This has happened since we anointed him when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. When we started covering him in high school, that was the beginning of eating away at, let's eat away at this legacy before it's built. All right? He goes to the hometown team. He performs unbelievably there. We just picked away at it. When he makes the decision, he made a mistake with the way he did it. People forget about the charity, all the money that was involved with the Boys and Girls Club with the decision. But because he did that, we ate away at that. How they made the statement, how we're going to win. 1 championship, not 2, 3, 4, 5. They ate away at that. Then we have another sighting of what we had in Game 5 against Boston. We have that occur again with Dallas. Now, for most people, that's an offense that you will never recover from. All right? Because we'll never let him be as good as Jordan. He'll never be perfect in the finals. So we just eat away at the legacy of LeBron. So it's not about one person. It's not because, oh, LeBron, because he's the best player ever. This is who LeBron's been. This has been his life. His life has been about criticism. And he's been trying to disprove that. Now, as far as the championships, will he ever be able to live up to the Jordan thing? That's an argument for later. But him being clutch, I told Nick this morning, you can't have the resume that LeBron's had unless you're clutch. Like, I don't know what people are watching during the game. When you score, in this series only, it's 2-2. If LeBron don't get them 20 in the first half, like, is that not clutch?
Right.
Like, is that not?
There's a messed up definition of what's clutch.
Yes.
You know, but even in what they do call clutch, and I think you read these earlier, the last 5 seconds of a game in the playoffs, this is playoffs, in regulation or overtime, LeBron is 6 in go-ahead, potential go-ahead shots to win. LeBron 6 for 13, 46%, 4 buzzer beaters. Michael Jordan 5 for 11, which is 45%, 3 buzzer beaters. Kobe, his last shot he made in that situation was 2006. He missed his last 6 attempts like that. If you add potential game tying shots, Kobe missed his last 13 attempts at that type of situation.
But people like that he took them. People flatly like that he took them.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking them.
I agree. But
because it takes some gumption to take
it just shows you how the narrative, and like everyone, and this is why I think one reason Jordan's a GOAT, I can't point to a moment where he really didn't perform incredibly well in the clutch or in a big moment. LeBron had Dallas, Magic had 84, Tragic Johnson. Larry Bird scored 8 points in 2 games of his first finals appearance. Kobe with the air balls in Utah, or even Phoenix, deciding not to shoot. Like, so many of those narratives, if somebody's pounding that drum every day, could have followed them like this.
And this is the last thing I'll say on this before we move on. This is why last night's game, though, was so perfect. Because this year, when people were like, is this LeBron's best offensive season ever in year 15? People have found new ways to pull on it. Well, can't hit free throws, defense ain't that great, and still the clutch stuff. So what's he do last night? 15 of 15 from the free throw line, game-saving block, game-winning clutch jump shot. Like, check, check, check in what was their biggest game of the year.
Chris Broussard, thanks so much, as always, for hanging out. There was this amazing picture last night of Baker Mayfield compared to Brett Favre.